Hey everyone, Prof Sales coming at you with a March sales update video. Want to let you guys know how I did for the month of March. And let me start off by saying that March was the best month that I've had so far. I actually finished just short of 5K for the month, which is the best month I've seen in the last year that I've been doing this since I started just right at about a year ago. I had my best month on eBay, and I had an okay, not so great month on Amazon, mainly because I didn't really focus on Amazon. But I'm very optimistic about the future. I think my ability to get more listings up and my pricing strategies and so on are definitely working. So I wanted to take this time to share with you how my strategies worked in terms of jeans, which, as most of you know, that's my core business on Amazon. So let's get right into it. So with listings, I had 263 versus 169 in the month of February. I listed 263 items this month. That was a little down from my goal. I wanted to do about 10 a day, which would have been about 310, but I'm pretty happy with that. That's a 56% increase. So I'm happy with getting that many more listings up. I had someone taking photographs for me, which obviously helped out. But at the same time, I really made a determined effort to go after it. There were about 3 days where I was unable to list hardly anything due to outside responsibilities and so on, but I'm pretty happy with that number. In terms of sold, 151 versus 117, which is a 29% increase. So for every extra item I listed, I sold just over a half an item, which is pretty good. I'm actually thinking that my normal averages are more like a third. So maybe you list one item and you sell a third of an item. Or if you want to think about it more clearly, you list 3 items and you sell 1. So I'm happy with that number. Obviously 151 pair of jeans is quite a few jeans to go through. That's about 5 a day. So I'm definitely seeing the results of my efforts, and I'm happy about that progress. The sold to list ratio, 57% versus 69%. Obviously it was down because I listed a lot more, so that number is going to drop. But it didn't drop as much as I thought. I thought it might drop as much as a quarter, 25% from the previous month, but it only dropped 12. So again, very happy with those results. I think my strategies are working, and I'm just going to continue doing what I've been doing. And if this number is the same next month, then I'm going to know that this is more of a real number than what I previously thought it might be, as much as a third. The average price for my jeans, you can see $26.79, $25.37. So I raised that average price by 6%. That doesn't sound like much, but as you start turning volume, that extra $1 or so adds up. It just puts more money in your pocket. You can always raise prices. I'm not saying you could raise them 6% every single month. That's way too aggressive. But people understand that the price of things tends to go up over time. So when you see things like eBay or Amazon increases their selling fees or postage rates go up, don't sweat it. Incorporate that into your pricing. People are going to have to understand. And yeah, there's still going to be those idiots out there who price things super low, but if they keep doing that with the way prices tend to go up over time, they're going to go out of business. They're not going to be in business 6 months or a year from now. So just hold true to what you got. Plus, remember, perception of value is important. People see something with a slightly higher price and assume that it has a higher value, and so often they are willing to pay that slightly higher price for a higher perception of value. Don't undercut your pricing too much. I think this hurts the market overall, and it certainly hurts your market, your profits. So don't be afraid to price at the high end of what you think your products are worth, what your items are worth, and just ride it out. You know, a couple extra sales at a higher dollar amount are going to make up for the lower sales that you could have gotten, but you won't make as much on each item. So price it high and let it fly. Okay, my net on each jean was $10.89 versus $9.21. That's an 18% increase. A lot of this increase has to do with the fact that I fully incorporated padded flat rate mailers into my shipping process. That comes out to be $5.90 per item for the most part. and you can ship to anywhere in the United States. I don't think this number will be as high as next month, since I will not be incorporating such a higher or such a lower shipping cost, but I still think I'll see some improvement. Again, if my pricing continues to inch up, as I find better and better brands to sell that have more value, my average price can go up, and this can go up some. But I expect this will probably be single digits next month. Still very happy with an 18% increase. My net profit percentage went from 36% to 41%. That's great. I mean, that's just more money in my pocket. A 14% increase over the 36% that it was the month before. This is the actual money you make after all your fees are paid and your cost of goods sold is figured out and you've taken out your expenses. This is what is actually the profit margin that I have estimated on a pair of jeans. You know, is 41% a good amount? You definitely can source items that will have a higher profit margin than 41%. However, that's a pretty robust profit margin if you're dealing in clothing. Yes, you could go with the higher end brands like my friend Ronnie or even Steve Rakin have done in the past, and you definitely could see a higher return. But I would argue that there aren't as many of those items out there, so you're going to have to try a little harder to make up for the volume if you are selling lower margin items like me, but I can just find a tremendous volume. You're only going to go find so many Pendleton shirts or Ralph Lauren limited edition items. They just aren't going to be that many out there, and the ones that are out there are going to be in rough shape. So it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off for time and energy to slog through more low selling items versus fewer higher selling items. I think I will probably mix in some higher selling items as over the next several months, but I'm coming up with a strategy for that right now, how I'm going to implement that to my business. But at the moment, I'm happy with a 41% net margin. I think in clothing retail, just having been a retail manager in the past, I know this is a good margin. I don't think my stores hit anywhere near this amount. Of course, they had all the upkeep of salaries as well as the expense of the store and so on. But still, 41% is a good margin for clothing. Net profit, this is the one we all like to see, right? So this is just on jeans. It's not on my other items for the month. So I did $16.44 net just on jeans versus $10.77. This $16.44 is the amount after you take out my cost of goods sold, after you take out eBay and PayPal fees, after you take out shipping cost. Would I owe taxes on this? I'm not a tax expert, but the short answer probably is yes. But still, it's a great increase. You can see 53% from the previous month. That's huge. If I double my listings, this arguably is going to be double as well. And I intend to double my listings and double the amount that I've listed and then some. So I'm really happy with this number. I know that it's going to get a lot larger over the next several months as I continue to build my listing total. But to see that kind of improvement from one month to next is great. I also kind of kept my expenses a little bit cheaper this month. I really tried to keep my business expenses down, which always helps as well. But this is just a jean to jean comparison. So neither one of these numbers really includes outside business expenses and so on. I really think that, you know, this number could be almost triple that just in jeans. So I don't know what you think is a good amount of money to make a month or a week or a year. That's a different answer for all of us. But if I could earn triple this on just jeans selling on eBay, I would be ecstatic. I think that would be tremendous. That kind of money would fund my lifestyle, would fund all my bills, and then some, and provide me the opportunity to take other risks in other areas, specifically maybe in Amazon or higher dollar items, even on eBay. So definitely good progress. I'm hoping next month to see this number over $2,000 and just look to keep increasing that net profit total each month. Per day solds, this was the number of jeans I sold per day. You can see I went from 4.87 to 4.03, which is a 21% increase. That's a good increase per day. I think, again, this is just as a result of more listings. I mean, it's so cliched in the reseller community, and people talk about this. How can I do more money? How can I make more money? You got to list more. I mean, there's just no really good way around that. If you list more and your pricing is right and your strategy is right in terms of your terms and your shipping and your analytic or your keywords and your analytics, all those things, you're going to sell more, which means you're going to sell more each day. This is roughly 5 items a day. So to process and pack up 5 items a day, granted the sales don't all come in at the same time, they come in at random times. It's not really that long of a process. I mean, I can print off a list of 5 sales for jeans, print the packing list, print the shipping labels, pay for all that good stuff, get the envelopes ready, put them in the envelopes, seal them up. I mean, that's maybe a 15-minute process. It's not, if that, it's not long. So to think about having this number maybe triple what it is now, maybe even a little more, I definitely can see how that's doable, and I'll be able to manage that quite easily. I don't really anticipate any problems as that number continues to grow. I think it'll actually, in some ways, focus me in even more on being efficient with how I use my time. So again, good growth in that. Hope to pop over that 5 number this month and continue on. So a great month for March. I think about where I was this time last year, and I was way down the list in terms of, I think I sold 6 items. I started last March. This March I sold 178. Do I think I will grow that quickly over the next year? Maybe. There's no reason I couldn't. There's no reason. I have a lot more listings I can do now. I have a lot better grasp of the market. I have a lot better grasp of my business and what strategies I should use to increase my business. Don't sell yourself short. If you reach for the stars and come up a little short, you still got pretty far. So that is kind of where I'm looking at for April, May, and June. I know we're moving into the summer months. I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to switch around some of my merchandising or some of my sourcing a little bit and try to focus on items that maybe are a little more seasonal. But I feel at the same time that jeans are a year-round kind of wear. People wear jeans in Las Vegas in the middle of July. Now, it's very hot and it's a very dry heat, but the point is that they don't really go out of season that much. They're not just a cold weather clothing accessory or clothing necessity. So I'm not that worried about the market dying off. It might die off some and it might not. But at the same time, I'll be prepared for fall and winter if that happens. Okay, well, I hope that this video was helpful to you, and if you have any comments, please leave them below and hit that like button and consider subscribing. Leave me a comment. I'll try my best to respond to you, and I hope you got something out of this. I will be making some other videos very shortly about eBay metrics as I'm digging into those to learn those a little better myself. And until next time, this is Prof Sales saying good sales to you.